The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. What to expect in this awesome review coming up right here on All Comics Access. Hey, welcome to All Comics Access. It's your boy, Joe, the Beast McCoy, aka the Mix Marvel. And before I get into proceedings, if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe, because every week I will be bringing awesome reviews on The Mandalorian. Okay, but now I must continue on my journey. So what's interesting, this episode, I think for a lot of us, isn't quite what we expected. It was a little bit of a twist. As much as I enjoyed it, it definitely threw us for a loop. Because, we had heard the rumors, seen the different leaks. If you were like myself, you were expecting to see, the lovely Sasha Banks in this episode. Possibly Mr. Carl Weathers and, different individuals that we've seen prior and also newer cameos. But, it took a different course. So, it picks up where it left off the last episode, Mr. Mandalorian. But, he's traveling, across Tatooine amongst the Judland Wastelands. If you are a Star Wars fan, much like myself, you will remember the Judland Wastelands. Do look a little bit familiar because Mr. Luke Skywalker and the droids back during the New Hope era was passing through that same area when they were on the search for Mr. Kenobi. But of course, out of nowhere, a little bit of surprise. Some bandits, try to definitely get a hold of the Mandalorian and the child. But with some quick maneuvering, like always, hey, he was able to get up out of there. So he continues his way to the cantina and meets up with the lovely mechanic, Miss Pelimoto. Now, what's interesting, it was pretty funny. She's playing cards with a giant ant. And what's even cooler, I guess, he's a doctor, Dr. Mandible. So I thought that was pretty funny. Mandalorian, of course, he's trying to figure out, hey, you got any more leads on meeting up with my people? And of course, nothing's free. So a little bit of a transaction, a little bit of something was in the works, so to speak. So the Mandalorian goes back to meet with Peli at her hangar. Now it was pretty cool. They're roasting some delicious crepe dragon meat over a fire. I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, the pit droids, roasting it up nicely. We remember the pit droids from the Phantom Menace era. So that was pretty cool. And then, in the course of giving her information, she makes a little bit of a deal with him. With a local female Sarkin, to get transported back to a planet where I guess her husband is. Now what's interesting, the Sarkin species is pretty fascinating in itself. I'll get into that shortly. Mandalorian, though, of course, is thrown off by this deal like, hey, I'm on a journey here trying to meet up with my people, get the child back, so, what's the deal? But, he works it out, and essentially he has to take this lovely female Sarkin, who is a mother of a brood. And if you're wondering what a brood is, if you look in the encasing thing that's on her back, strapped on there kind of like a backpack, that's what the Sarkins call their families, broods. And what's pretty cool about the Sarkin species, we've seen different parts of them throughout the Star Wars universe. They're known for mining precious gems, and the Sarka planet itself, it's pretty cool. Sarkins are known for having some, I should say, interesting traditions. So pretty cool if you want to look into more of that. But as we get back on course, basically he's ready to take this lovely Sarkin mother back to meet up with her husband in this ancient home world where her husband is. Of course, though, as they transpire on the journey, it is not an easy thing because they come across some lovely X-Wing pilots. and quickly learning that these X-Wing pilots are trying to make sure the galaxy's cleaned up of the riffraff. They definitely suspect our Mandalorian warrior of some shady dealings, which, he's a survivalist, so he's done some things. And with some quick maneuvering, he got off course and detoured to ice planet. I want to say, naturally to me it looks like Hoth, but we do know there are a few other ice planets in the Star Wars universe, so don't quote me on that entirely. So upon landing on this home planet of, possible Hoth, what's interesting, as he does that maneuvering, he's laying low in the canyons. But unfortunately, there's a little bit of a crash landing, you could say, and the ship is a little bit stranded. Now, what's pretty funny, one part that I really got a kick out of, our buddy, our lovely Baby Yoda here, aka the child, always hungry, always ready to eat, like most kids are. So it was pretty interesting to see him try to eat these Sarkin eggs at every given moment. So naturally, after a little bit of a pep talk from the mother Sarkin, the Mandalorian was, motivated to fix his ship and definitely to continue with his mission because, hey, this is the way. That's the way of the Mandalorian, so he definitely is always one to keep his word. Interestingly enough, though, the Sarkin mother disappeared briefly. And, of course, out of concern for everything, just threw the Mandalorian off a little bit. And it's pretty interesting to note that she was in some underground canyon hot springs of the area. Now, what's interesting, we see naturally that she needs to warm up. She's trying to keep her eggs warm, but those underground kind of canyons are the settings that the Sarkins are known for dealing with on their home world. But of course, like anything, there's always unexpected at every turn. So upon his little journey to find some more tasty goodies, the Baby Yoda comes across a whole slew of eggs. And he loves his eggs, as we've learned in this episode. And he learns something very interesting, that there was some danger in the works. And lo and behold, what do we see? Some crazy monstrous spiders known as the Krykna. If you are familiar with the Star Wars Rebels series, they've made a brief appearance. And also, what's pretty interesting to note, originally they were supposed to be in Empire Strikes Back, but obviously we know that didn't happen. So it was pretty awesome to see the Mandalorian have to shoot it out with these crazy monstrous spiders and try to get the Baby Yoda and the lovely Mother Sarnak to safety. Or, I'm sorry, pardon me, Sarkin. So many words, it's a lot. But anyway, so, they get back to the ship and, they're fighting off as best as possible. We see that the Mother Sarkin, she's got some gunslinging skills as well, as she's taking out some of these Krykna spiders. And lo and behold, doesn't it figure, who comes to his aid? Those amazing X-Wing pilots that he encountered earlier. Upon checking records and learning of his heroic feats, they give him a little bit of a pass, and they came through in the nick of time for him and was willing to turn a blind eye, so to speak, to let him get off in a safe passage to continue his journey to get the lovely Lady Mother Sarkin back to her husband, where they could live peacefully with their new brood of a family. Now, what's interesting briefly, like I said, this wasn't what we expected, but why I love this regardless, this was like a classic sci-fi kind of feel to it. It wasn't like the first episode where you had the awesome Western type of setting, but it didn't let down, to say the least. And what's interesting, what I've noticed, before with The Mandalorian, I feel like even from the first season, whenever they kind of groundbreak into a new area, it's always setting up for something bigger. And essentially it's building a bridge across to something else that, you know, we're going to definitely be happy with, what we're going to be surprised with. So I definitely take this in for still being a really cool episode and quite entertaining, and definitely seeing the Mandalorian live up to the code of this is the way and following through with his mission. Alright, so yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this lovely episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'm looking forward to next Fridays. Before we wrap everything up, if you definitely want to get your hands on a lovely Baby Yoda or any other cool Mandalorian merchandise, please hit the link down below. And in case you're wondering where I got this fun shirt from, you know, this Boba Fett, pretty cool. Definitely click the other link down below for the website Once Upon a Tea. Now, what's pretty cool, make sure to use my code Joe the Beast McCoy to get yourself a lovely 10% off. Yeah, so appreciate any assistance with those affiliate links. Definitely helps out the channel. Alright, folks. Once again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Got a lovely little spot up there. And also, make sure to like the video just to help me out a little bit. I hope all is well. May the Force be with you. And also remember, whenever you're feeling down and out, rise up and geek on.
If you see Francis, tell him I'm looking for him. I need to find him. Let me know where he is. He's gonna get served.